First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rekah Kodash, and the ones those great millstone, while unto his truth. And also to those elect that are scattered abroad, I like to say, Shalom. And come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So the title of today's lesson is Red Dawn Event. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners. Hope this will be today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So I have a news article here. I'm not going to read the article, but I'm just going to read the title. And it says the Washington Free Beacon. And it says here, it says how China and Russia could defeat the U.S. in war. So we already know that there's rumors of wars all over the place. We know that what World War III has begun. Also, we know that Putin is constantly warning the West and also NATO, constantly getting closer and closer to the border. We know what a mighty buildup over there in between Ukraine and Russia. So we're seeing that these things are constantly picking up. Also, right here in our own backyard, civil war. It's all talks about that. And also this April the 8th solar eclipse. So it's a lot of things that they are preparing for. Oh, what are they preparing for? So we seeing that these things are constantly picking up. That's why I called today's lesson a Red Dawn event. So you already know that Red Dawn, what I'm talking about is this movie that the first one came out, I think, around 84, 85 with Patrick Swayze. He played in where America had got invaded by China and I think Russia troops. So we seeing that these things are picking up. And also I think Chris Hemsworth, the one that played at Thor, he played in another one, I think around 2017, somewhere like that. But anyway, we seeing that they constantly putting these things in the movie. And also that other movie that's supposed to be coming out in April, Civil War. So we already know that we're here. So right here it said what you said, how China and Russia could defeat the U.S. in war. So this Bible prophecy right here, we already knowing that, hey, Russia and China in collaboration with NATO is going to take down what America. So in the news, we already knowing that they constantly preparing for April the 8th, this solar eclipse. I did a lesson on it a couple of weeks back, but anyway, they preparing, they're dispatching the National Guards in several states, around America. So for this event, telling you to get food, get water, make sure you have batteries. And it says it could, your internet could be down. You might not have cell service. So what are they preparing for? We already know that all hell is get ready to break. In the middle of the Lord, we constantly warn you left and right. Also, we know that we get ready to transition to this digital cashless society. And also it's going to be dealing with your biometric. In the middle of the Lord, we're constantly warning you about that. Also that grain of rice, all roads lead to that MOTB. It shall go in your right hand or your forehead. So we constantly warn you about it. We already know that. Also, it's constantly rumors about China will invade Taiwan. So it's a lot of war news is going on simultaneously all around the world. We're seeing rumors all over the place. Calamities, all sorts of things are constantly happening left and right. Mass judgment is upon us. And in the middle of the Lord, we're constantly warning you left and right. Also in the news, store closing, Family Dollar and Dollar Tree, they're getting ready to close, I think, around 1,000 stores. So we already knowing that, and also we know that a lot of these billionaires, they're bailing out, they selling a lot of stock, so what are they preparing for? Could it be a Red Dawn event? What I mean by that, a sneak attack or a military attack, a military flood. So we already know that they already have sleeper cells all over America once again. So we constantly tell us, so these things are getting ready to come in our own backyard. Also, I think that it was a cyber attack in France. So these things are constantly picking up left and right. Disruption just a couple of weeks ago, AT&T, a lot of things, are constantly picking up left and right. We're seeing that these things keep occurring, on a regular basis. So we know that we're getting very close. So we're seeing that they're saying that they going to have these National Guard in major cities, across America. And also, we already know that they have the National Guard already in New York to fight crime, for the rising crime. So they help to protect the people. But we already know we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know that a lot of things are coming. This could be a Black Swan event. I did a lesson on that, so look that up. This could be a Black Swan event. We already know that this will be a Red Dawn event. So you're already knowing that America will be invaded. America will be totally destroyed. And which in fact is what? Babylon the Great, the whore that sits on many waters. So the Lord is getting ready to judge this place. Even though we goes over these things over and over, but hey man, this is where we at, because these keep coming out left and right. And one thing about it, we seeing that order out of chaos. We seeing, calamities over here, catastrophes over here, left and right. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. In the middle of the Lord, we are sighing and crying left and right. So things are getting ready to get very, very perilous. Things are getting ready to get very evil and dark. And one thing about it is that if the Lord is not on your side, you will be totally destroyed. And also, we know we coming upon this great economic collapse. The end of the dollar is the end of America. So we already know the dollar is getting ready to be obsolete. That's why we're in a transition currency right now. Transition, also a transition of power. We're seeing it happening left and right. They constantly, little by little, putting things in place. Also, in the news that in Chicago they was having a measles outbreak. They were saying that these migrants are constantly spreading this measles. So constantly more chaos. Also they saying that they're not going to be able to house them. You know what I'm saying? They saying that they was going. I think it's March the 17th, 16th, somewhere like that, where they won't have any place to stay. So they're putting a lot of them in the street. So this is all by design. Also, we know we having young military age men are all across the map, all in place, waiting on the green light. When that happens, all hell is getting ready to break loose. So a lot of people right now still are relaxing in their league. Still, thinking that, hey, it's peace and safety right now. They feel that they are secure and still scoffing and mock, still are not believing. And these things are constantly happening left and right before your eyes. One thing about it is that we really does not matter. We're going to present the evidence. It's up to the Lord. If you're not part of the elect, you'll get ready to be destroyed. So we already knowing that mass judgment is coming. Also mass death and destruction. We at the beginning of sorrow, and we're constantly warning you left and right. Before we start today's video, let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Let's get a quick precept. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 7. Let's start here. It said, make no terror to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. So a lot of people right now are putting off. A lot of people are not considered, not aware. And all of a sudden it will come like a thief in the night. It's going to come on a regular day. A lot of people right now, they are drinking, having a great old time in the house of mirth, in the house of food. As of the days of the Noah, as of the days of right now, there are no new thing under the sun. So we already seeing a lot of do thy will spirit, self-will, constantly being rebellious against Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. And also we know that we read upon what Jacob trust. So put not off from day to day. So suddenly the wrath of the Lord will come upon you. That mass judgment is fast approaching. We already telling you about this Red Dawn event or this or this Black Swan event. It will happen all of a sudden while you are relaxing in your leaves. The devil is constantly getting busy. And also we already knowing that, a lot of people are getting ready to be taken in a great number. So like verse 8, it said, set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. So we're approaching that day of calamity. What is that day of calamity? The hour of temptation, also Jacob's trouble, a time of trouble that we've never seen before. So and once again, the title of the day lesson once again is Red Dawn Event. So we'll start the videos, and after the video, we will start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified. One moment.
This is getting wild. The National Guard is going to be here now for the solar eclipse. This article today was released in an Oklahoma newspaper saying that they will have guardsmen present in McCurtain County for the solar eclipse. But things get much weirder. The 22 members of an elite chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear unit will be housed in Broken Bow, in addition to 110 to 150 Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers. They're also urging residents to stock up with 1 to 2 weeks of food in advance of the event and to have full fuel tanks. They're also saying that it's likely that communication facilities could be overloaded, possibly making it difficult to make cell phone calls. Similar warnings are going out in different states, including Noblesville Fire Department in Texas. And apparently schools are canceled this day, and people are going on Twitter writing statements like this: "Something strange is definitely happening. My kids in 3 different schools all got notices that school will be closed that day." What do you know about this solar eclipse? As always, let me know what you think about all of this down below.
Soon we will enter an era where there will be no internet, no television, or telephone service. We will plunge into chaos, where your money, your empires, and your power will lose all significance. The sole concern for you and your loved and dear ones will be simple survival. However, in this impending scenario, you will sadly realize that you can no longer change anything. You will be powerless. By then, you will have lost all your media resources, thus losing influence over the masses, and your empires will be shattered.
Next false flag event, the big event, we're going to be infiltrated on American soil. And it's not just going to be subjected to a certain geographical landmass like what happened in 9/11 in the year 2001, right? It's actually going to be one of those things where it's going to be happening all over the place, right? It's not just going to be subjected to New York City. It's going to be happening in California, Indiana, Kentucky. It's going to be happening all over the place. That's why I said you have to be very meticulous about who you're around, because you don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be infiltrated out of nowhere, just like the movie Red Dawn. They came outside, they was about to go to work, and then all of a sudden, some damn parachutes was coming from the sky. They didn't know what was going on. Thousands of troops, thousands of military men infiltrating American soil on parachutes taking place. That's going to be the big event. That's why you got all these sleeper cells. They all over the planet. All they got to do is get that phone call, and you working with one of them, and you know what I'm saying, one of them disappear, and they come out, and they just, start picking people off. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to be the next big event, right? And that's what's going to be the precursor to your so-called civil war, because people are not going to understand the dichotomy between those who are working with the government and those who are who basically created their own militarized groups that goes against the government. So it's going to be hard to pick sides. And spirituality is about not being tricked. That's what it's about. So pay attention to your surroundings when you're at work, grocery shopping, or whatever, because like I said, you're going to be infiltrated from the inside.
Stay on my ass! Cabin. What? No. The cabin. Jess, take care of your brother. You hear me? Get out of here while you still can. Go now. Let's go. Go. No. Come on. No. Jess, go. Jess, we gotta get Erica. Where?
America, wake up. Uncle Sam for President 2024. America, we have more illegal border crossing than most states have residents. With this fact stated, let me break something down for you. If I were going to invade a country, I send my military-aged guys in ahead of the invasion. You ask why? Well, the easiest way to take a country would be from the middle out. And the borders in. This would make fighting multiple fronts harder on the country's military. Everyone talks about the US mountains ranges to stop a invading army. Well, if you let them walk across a open border and get staged in the middle of the country just waiting to fight, it gives the standing army means and time to get small arms and IEDs made. So when the shit hits the fan, the standing army we led in are fully armed, dressed as us, while fighting us. Already this year, some 4,293 Chinese migrants have been apprehended at the border. 22,000 Russians have tried to enter the US. 193 suspected of being involved in terrorism have crossed. Again, these are the ones that the US Border Patrol knows about. I asked how many got away. Not counting the Chinese police stations Biden let go up in the United States. Wake up if World War III breaks out. China and Russia has a standing...
So we seeing, that, the invasion of America is very real. It's already been prophesied. This place is getting ready to be destroyed in 1 hour. And one thing about it is that, men of the Lord, we're constantly warning you left and right. So I start off today's lesson in Jeremiah. Let's start off in Jeremiah, quick lesson through the Spirit. And once again, I hope that you will get edified. Jeremiah chapter 28, and we'll start up at verse 8. And it reads, said, the prophets that had been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. So one thing about it, that's what we're constantly warning. We're being a watchman for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, constantly warning you of what? Of war, warning you of what? Of evil. You know what I'm saying? That evil time of trouble, Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, also pestilence. We already knowing what's going on there in Chicago, this measles outbreak. And also it was another outbreak, and I can't remember the name of the state. But anyway, so we're seeing that these things are constantly are picking up. And the men of the Lord, we're constantly warning you left and right, even though that we'll sound like a broken record once again. But these are the times that we're living in. So we're seeing that we're constantly prophesying. We're telling you, one moment, we're constantly telling you about this old devil messing with my phone. But anyway, we're telling you about all this all these things that's happening. The spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. Everyone is standing in the lot. If you was a prophet back then, you're a prophet right now. You're prophesying right now in the highways and the byway, making these video epistles left and right, keeping not silent. Because one thing about it, when the Lord bring it, there will be no more talking. So we're upon the what? You seeing what these nations are are divided. Nations are rising against nations. We're seeing what Russia are telling the West and NATO, warning them. So, saying things could go nuclear at any given time. And the prophets are constantly warning you left and right, but whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. Verse 9 said, the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord had truly sent him. In that day you shall know that a prophet had been among. When these things come to pass, we see them coming to pass left and right. Also our salvation at the door. Then you shall know that a prophet was among you. And one thing about it, a lot of people are in for a rude awakening. So now let's go here to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. And we'll start up at the top at verse 1. And it reads, said, but of the times and season, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. Verse 2 said, for yourself know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. So we already knowing the signs of the time. We know that the prophets are speaking loud and clear. The one third, we had attained it and the rest was black. And one thing about it, those are the two thirds. So we seeing that we're living in this time right now because the prophets, they are speaking left and right. Rumors of war, earthquakes in diverse places. Nation rising against nation. Nation are divided. What rumors of what? Of civil unrest. All sorts civil war warnings. Also this about this the Lord said that he will show what? Great signs and wonders in heaven. This solar eclipse that's coming up. When you go to Joel chapter 2, starting around verse 26 or 28, somewhere up in there. But anyway, we knowing that we're here. The Lord's showing all of the signs of the time. We are here. Either you will hear or either you will forbear. We know perfectly well that we're living in this time right now. We are rejoicing because we're almost at the end of this day. Our salvation is at the door, and also the kingdom of heaven that dwells in right hand. Also what? The great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, it is at the door. Verse 3 said, so when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So a lot of people right now are saying peace and safety. Everything is fine. Everything is good. I'm a good case. I'm eating good right now. I don't know what they are talking about. I still have my job. I still have my bank account. But my family are still doing fine. I'm not sick. All of a sudden, it's going to come on a normal day. They're going to do what you call a sneak attack. That's why the Lord said, suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come upon you. We're in peace and safety right now. But a lot of people right now are constantly despise and mock. This is not going to happen. That is not going to happen. But the Lord is getting ready to make a believer out of you. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Proverbs chapter 1. So now, let's go here to Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 50. Jeremiah chapter 50. And we'll start up at verse 21. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 21. And we'll read down. And it reads, said, go up against the land of Matraim, said, even against it and against the inhabitants of Pekah, waste and utterly destroy after them, says the Lord, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. So one thing about it, when you go into that word Matraim, that means double rebellion. That's talking about Babylon the Great, America. So one thing about it, we knowing that these sleeper cells, also China and Russia in collaboration with NATO, they're going to utterly waste this land, through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. We wait for this place to go down. DTA, a ball. We cannot wait. Verse 22, a sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. So right now we're seeing the sound of the battle. Rumors of wars are all over the place. We're seeing that, that these nations are saying that they are strong right now. The heathens are raging right now. We already know things are getting ready to pick up. Things are getting ready to break out. All hell is getting ready to break loose. Let's read this again. It says, a sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. Verse 23 said, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? And one thing about it, the hammer of the whole earth is America. Babylon is great. And one thing about it, they have spoiled many nations. And now they get ready to become a desolation, a third world country overnight. There will be no inhabitant left here. So, the nation police going in, robbing and stealing and killing, draining people of their resource, killing their leaders and setting up their own puppet government. That's America, the hammer of the whole earth. But one thing about it that, we knowing that his day has come. The Lord's getting ready to destroy this place. We cannot wait with that, destroying wind. Verse 24 says, I have laid a snare or a trap for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware, thou art found, and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. So one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to set the trap, getting ready to set the snares in the trap. And also, the Lord is getting ready to cause these other nations to rise up against Babylon the Great. We seeing that BRIC nation is right. We seeing that Russia, the Lord is putting the hooks in Russia's jaw, and also these other nations. Everyone is turning against Babylon the Great. They leaving the dollar alone. People are pulling out of this place because they seeing that this place is declining. They seeing that the infrastructure is constantly crumbling. They seeing that we're at the end of this thing. We're seeing that China is saying that they weren't going to send no more, I think, a merchandise export, if I'm not mistaken, to America. So we already knowing that the sown place will become unsown. So a lot of things are getting ready to happen here. We already know about the cyber attack, power grid, no food, no water, a great famine in the land. A famine of the word. All these things are coming upon us at a fast pace. So we seeing that, the Lord has set the snare, what I'm saying? They coming, the indignation of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Verse 25 said, the Lord has opened up his armory and has brought forth the weapon of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord power, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. And then one thing about it, weapon of his indignation is those IBCM missiles, the intercontinental ballistic missile that's getting ready to pivot the earth, and also they're going to destroy Babylon the Great. Also with that laser and chariot fire, the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place in 1 hour, whether you believe it or not. And also that going into the land of the Chaldeans, that's talking about America, Babylon the Great, Esau headquarters, Esau Edom. The devil that the Bible speaks of, the Lord is getting ready to burn this place. We cannot wait. Verse 26, he said, come against her from the uttermost borders, open her storehouse, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. And out about that her going to what? The whore that sits on many water, America, Babylon the Great, said come into her storehouse. That means, you take all her resources. They're going to come in here and tear this place to pieces. They're going to take whatever they can get. They're going to ravish our women. They're going to take some of them off and have them as sex slaves, all sorts of atrocity, all sorts of lawlessness, all sorts of sedition and insurrection of men is getting ready to happen here right in Babylon the Great. If the Lord is not on your side, you get ready to be totally destroyed. And we constantly warn you left and right. So let's look this up in the in NLT. Let's get a little bit more clarification, a little more edification. Let's read it. We're just going to read it all the way down for edification purpose. Let's go here right quick. Then we're going to get one more and we're going to close out. Let's go here to the NIT. Let's go here to Jeremiah chapter 50. Let's get in the NIT, that version, see how it reads. A little bit more clarification, a little bit more edification. Let's Jeremiah, see, one moment. Jeremiah chapter 50 and we'll start up at verse 21. One moment. And we're going to read down to verse 26. And it reads, it says, Jeremiah chapter 50 in the NLT. We was in the King James Version a while ago with the Apocrypha. Now we're in the blue letter, NLT, Salaki. And it reads, it said, go up, my warriors, against the land of Metraim and against the people of Pekah. Pursue, kill, and completely destroy them as I have commanded you, says the Lord, Yahweh. By Hashem, is talking about what? America, Babylon the Great. This place is going to be totally destroyed. And the Lord is, he's against this what? Destroying what? Mountain. What is that mountain? It's talking about America, Babylon the Great. Once again, what? That whore that sits on many water. Verse 22 said, it said, let the battle cry be heard in the land and a shout of great destruction. So we hearing the battle cry is going out. And then Lord also, we are warning, And one thing about it, we have, we have blown the trumpet. Hey, no one is coming to the battle. No one is listening right now, but they're getting ready to listen because it's going to be what all of a sudden it's going to happen. When they say peace and safety, then total destruction will come upon us. Rumors of wars are all over the place, and men of the Lord, we're working overtime. We're standing on our watch, and we're standing on fire for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Verse 23 said, Babylon, the mightiest hammer in all the earth, said, lies broken and shattered. That's talking about the hammer of the whole earth. America, the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place to the foundation. No inhabitants will be left here. We are constantly warning you, warning before destruction. It said, listen, Babylon, for I have set a trap for you. You are caught, for you have fought against the Lord. That's why the Lord got all these sleeper cells in play. We're seeing it right now, tensions is constantly growing. We're seeing this about this migrant crisis. This was all designed by who? Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. And also we knowing that Esau, that left-hand energy is constantly working, but the Lord is in perfect control. The Lord is devising this trap. This is his plan. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's getting ready to usher in the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. Also, the Lord's getting ready to bring forth what? Mass judgment. Verse 25 said, the Lord has opened up his armory and brought out the weapons to vent his fury. The terror that falls upon the Babylonians will be the works of the sovereign Lord of heaven's army. So one thing about it, we already know about that weapon of indignation. Those IBCM missiles, that laser and chariot fire. The Lord's going to come from the east to the west with great glory and great power. The Lord's getting ready to show up and show out. Verse 26 says, yes, come against her from distant land. Break open her granaries. You know what I'm saying? So the sown place that get ready to be unsold. This place is getting ready to be a third world country. And they say they get ready to come from a distant Russia and China, also, and all the NATO, and also the Arab nation. A lot of nations are getting ready to come up against Babylon the Great, America, man. Hey, man, we seeing it, man. We are very excited. We almost at the end of this thing. Rejoice, ye heaven. Say, crush her walls and house it into heaps. of rubble. Said, destroy her completely. Said, and leave nothing. So this place is getting ready to be clean, dissolved. When you go to 2 Peter chapter 3, from 9 all the way down to 13. You know what I'm saying? This place, all the elements are getting ready to be melted. And one thing about it, this is going to be a red dawn effect, all right. But the Lord, he's getting ready to show. It's getting ready to be a Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai effect. The Lord's getting ready to show. They set the record straight. And also the Lord is getting ready to set up that righteous order. As it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth. The kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So now, let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Ephesians chapter 5. We close out here. Ephesians chapter 5. We'll start up at verse 15. Ephesians chapter 5. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15. We close out here. And it reads, says, see then ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. So one thing about it, when you go into that word circumspectly, circle mean, circle, and expect mean to look, you know what I'm saying? So look around, know your surrounding, knowing the people that you're dealing with, knowing what time that you're living in, you know what I'm saying? One thing about it, you got to stay up on it. You got to watch, pray, and be sober, because we're living in these times right now. Evils are growing all around us. And one thing about it, we knowing that that day of trouble is coming. Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, and also that grain of rice, it is at the door. Verse 16 said, so redeeming the time, because the days are evil. The days are evil. They constantly increasing. We already know that the plagues are sent. We're seeing that, the evils are growing all around us, left and right, one thing behind another. And one thing about it, that we know that we get ready to come upon a time that we have never seen before. But the Lord said, for the elect's sake, those days shall be short. So that's what the Lord is doing right now. He's accelerating time. The Lord is constantly ushering in the kingdom of heaven. We're seeing that we're in that transition of power. The Lord is bringing down one and setting up another. Esau is the end of this earth, this temporal world, this wicked, evil kingdom. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follow, the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. That's what we're waiting on. That's what we're longing for. Trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. The Lord's getting ready to do a mighty work. Verse 17 said, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Examine yourself. Get your house in order. Let go of the mortal thought. And one thing about it, gird up your loins, because one thing about it, through much tribulation, ye shall enter the kingdom of heaven. Also, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the time. It's Isaiah chapter 33 and 6. So one thing about it, the Lord will be a stronghold in times of trouble. We will be in the secret place of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. The Lord will provide for. The Lord will sustain them. When we see all the enemy coming like a flood, the Lord is going to lift up that standard. Isaiah 59 and 19, the Lord is going to do a mighty work. That supernatural intervention is getting ready to come into play. All we must do is stay on the path of right, stay humble, pray without ceasing, keep the faith, keep pushing, and the Lord is going to do the rest. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is Red Dawn Event. So I can give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rikah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.